Hi there, and welcome to our top score writing lesson today. My name is Mrs. Zabo, and I'm going to be your teacher for this lesson. We are in section 2, lesson 30 in second grade informative writing. So let's review what we talked about in the previous lesson and get right to our lesson today. So in the previous lesson, we talked about the structure of our middle paragraphs. Our middle paragraphs were our T1, T2, and T3 paragraphs. There were three components in those paragraphs. The first component was your topic sentence. Then you had your second component as your 2A, which is two sentences for A. And then you had your 2B, which is two sentences for B. Now, where do you find the topic for your topic sentence? Exactly, in your plan. You have to look in your plan. So we focused on, let's say, our T1 paragraph. So if we were writing a T1 paragraph, we would have to look in our plan where it says T1, and that would be the main topic that we're focusing on in that paragraph. Excellent. What about our A's and our B's? Where do we find those? In our plan as well. Those are our subtopics. So we were going to focus two sentences on our A subtopic. One of those introduces our A, and then the other gives more information about what A is about. And then we have our 2B. One introduces what our B is and then gives more information about B. So our structure has how many sentences altogether? Yes, it has 5 sentences. Could you have added more sentences if you wanted to? Absolutely. We just want a minimum of 5 sentences. So if you added a couple extra sentences to teach your reader more, maybe about your A or your B, that is perfectly fine. So today we are going to be talking about our last paragraph within our essay. The last paragraph is called your conclusion paragraph or your C paragraph. So there are 3 components that you need to have a satisfying C paragraph. The first component is a summary sentence. This is an overview or summary of the topic. The second component is restating your 3 topics. Now, we stated our 3 topics in our I paragraph. You're restating them again in your C. So it's going to be very, very similar, but you still have to make it somewhat different. And then our last component is your thought or feeling about the topic. I call this your fireworks sentence because you have to go out with a bang. It's got to be exciting. You've got to leave your reader shocked and excited that they read your essay. So there's lots of ways to create a conclusion paragraph, but this is just one way that we know makes it a satisfying conclusion. So let's kind of go into learning about what these components include. So if we are talking about the summary of a topic, this is a 1 sentence overview or summary about the topic. You are just simply restating the topic and what the essay was about. So simply stating what you've been talking about throughout your entire essay. Then you have your 3 topic sentence again. So you're simply telling your reader the 3 topics in your essay. Make sure they are in order with your plan and your middle paragraphs. And you want to name those 3 topics as you did in the introduction, just in a different way. So very similar to how you stated it in your I, but still a little bit different at the same time. And then lastly, your thought or feeling about the topic. So you're going to state what you think about your topic, how you feel about your topic, or how the topic makes you feel. So you are really, really going to give your opinion about something there, and you are going to leave the reader feeling excited about having read your essay because it's the last sentence in your essay. So let's practice this. I need you to take out your ice skating and what is soccer passage set. And this essay we wrote in the previous couple of lessons. So we were focusing on our T1, our T2, and our T3 paragraphs with this essay. The only thing that's missing in this essay is our C paragraph, which is what we're going to do right now. So let's look at the prompt again. It says, after reading the articles, think about what you have learned about sports. Now write to inform your reader about sports. So we were just going to teach our reader about the sports that we read about in our passage set. So we focused on skate sports, other skate athletics, and soccer. Those were the three major sports that we focused on based upon the passage set. So in our skate sports, we focused on figure skating and speed skating. In other skate athletics, we talked about ringette and hockey. And then for soccer, we talked about how to play it and how it helps. So we already created our I, T1, T2, and T3 paragraphs. Now it's time to finish up the essay with a really awesome C paragraph. So we are going to do that right now. So I'm going to show you my document camera, and we are going to write a fabulous C paragraph for this prompt. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to indent. So I'm going to start on my first line here, and I am going to indent because that's my first line of a new paragraph. And I need to state my summary sentence. So what I've been talking about throughout this entire essay, which is pretty much fun sports to play. So I'm going to say, there are many fun sports to play. Because I've been talking about all these cool, fun sports to play within my essay. So that's a summary of what I've been talking about. So I'm going to underline that in red because that is my first component of my C paragraph. Then I need to restate my three topic sentence. Remember, my three topics based on my plan were skate sports, other skate athletics, and soccer. I got to make sure that my sentence makes sense, and I got to make sure that it's in that same order. So I'm going to say sports that you can play include skate sports, because that was my T1, other skate athletics, because that was my T2, and soccer, because that was my T3. It makes sense and it's in order. And it's a little bit different from what we said in our I paragraph. So now that I have my second component, my restating the three topics sentence, I am going to underline that in blue. So I now know that I have two colors, therefore I have two components of my C paragraph. So the last component is my fireworks sentence, something that makes my reader really excited that they read this entire essay and that they learned a lot from it. So I'm going to say playing these sports can make kids happy and very athletic. Playing these sports can make kids happy and very athletic. Because I read about all these fun sports. I know that kids are really happy playing these sports. And I know that they're practicing these skills when they're playing them. So they must become really athletic as well. So this is my fireworks sentence. And it's the last component within my C paragraph. And the last sentence in my entire essay. So here is my satisfying conclusion. Let's read it back to make sure we have everything we need, to make sure that we're not missing punctuation, capitalization, or any missing words, because sometimes we do that. And we can see that we have all three of our components because we have our three different colors. So let's look at it. There are many fun sports to play. Sports that you can play include skate sports, other skate athletics, and soccer. Playing these sports can make kids happy and very athletic. What do you think? We did a really good job. Excellent work, guys. I'm very, very proud of you. Let's go back into our lesson today because we're going to continue on. And I want you to try this with me now. So I need you to take out your Ocean Animals passage set. This includes dolphins, sea turtles, and stingrays. So please get out those passages. And let's look at the prompt so we can remember what we did before. There are many different sea creatures within our oceans. Think about what you have learned about sea creatures. Now write to inform your reader about sea creatures. So we are obviously teaching our reader about sea creatures. So our I and our C are sea creatures. The 3 topics we're going to focus on are dolphins, sea turtles, and stingrays because we got those from the text, the passage set. So let's go into writing a fabulous sea paragraph using this plan. So I'm going to show you my document camera again. And we will practice just below this using the plan that we have on sea creatures. So the first thing that we need, what is the first thing that you need for your conclusion paragraph? If you don't know, please look in your notebooks or check the example maybe that you wrote with me. Yes, you need your summary sentence. So your summary sentence, it starts with an indent. What can we say that just summarizes about sea creatures? How about we just state there are many sea creatures that you can find in the ocean. We're talking about many different types of sea creatures in the ocean, so that's a summary sentence of what our entire essay is about. So we're going to underline that in red to tell us we have our first component, our summary sentence of our sea paragraph. Now we need to do what? What is the next component? Exactly. We need to restate our 3 topics. We need to restate them in order and we need to make sure it makes sense. So our 3 topics in order were dolphins, sea turtles, and stingrays. So let's do that. These sea creatures include dolphins, that's our T1, sea turtles, that's our T2, and stingrays, that's our T3. Perfect. We have our second component in our conclusion paragraph. We're going to underline it in blue. We see 2 colors, therefore we have 2 components. We need 1 more to finish up our C paragraph. What is the last component in a satisfying conclusion paragraph? It's your fireworks sentence, exactly. It's our thought or feeling about sea creatures. What can we say about sea creatures? How about sea creatures are so interesting to learn about? Perfect. Thought or feeling about the topic. They're really interesting to learn about. Therefore, we have our last sentence, which is our fireworks or thought feeling sentence, and we underline it in green. So we have our 3 components to create a satisfying conclusion paragraph. Let's go back and read it to make sure it makes sense. There are many sea creatures that you can find in the ocean. These sea creatures include dolphins, sea turtles, and stingrays. Sea creatures are so interesting to learn about. Does it flow? Does it make sense? Excellent work. Very nice practice. Let's get right back into our lesson. I'm going to go back to the lesson so you can see that. And here is an example of what we just did. There is so much to learn about sea creatures. The articles talked about dolphins, sea turtles, and stingrays. The next time you jump in the ocean, think about all the sea creatures living there. So this is just another way to create a satisfying conclusion paragraph for the prompt on sea creatures. So now I want you to show what you know. I want you to complete the student practice activity. So if you go to the student practice activity, it's all on sea lions and all about seals, and it's informing your reader about sea mammals. So you're going to write a sea paragraph for the seals and sea lions passage set previously completed plan. So there is a plan there. You're using the completed plan in order to create your satisfying conclusion paragraph. When you're done, I want you to come back to me. So go ahead and pause this and come back when you have completed the challenge. Alrighty, you should have completed the student practice on sea lions and seals. So it should be in front of you. Let's self-assess our work. So get out your highlighters and we're going to color code your writing using the key shown. So with your summary sentence, please highlight it in blue. Then I want you to highlight in yellow, you're restating your 3 topics. And then in pink, I want you to highlight your thought feeling sentence. Do not add anything extra right now or fix anything. So just go ahead right now and take your highlighters and highlight those 3 components. So as you see your conclusion paragraph in front of you, ask yourself, what did you do well on? Do you have a really good fireworks sentence? Do you have your punctuation and grammar? Did you forget anything? Check to make sure you have all 3 components. If you only see 2 colors there, then you're forgetting one of your components. Make sure you have all 3 of them. And then what can you improve on? Does everything make sense? Is your 3 topic sentence similar to your I paragraph 3 topic sentence? Check all of your components to make sure that they make sense, that they flow, and you have everything there. Now it's time to revise. So start at the top of the list and work your way down until the timer goes off. So if you have a timer, go ahead and set it for 5 minutes. If you forgot something, I want you to add it right now. If you made a mistake, I want you to fix it. Check for capitalization, spelling, and clarity. And make sure that you remember everything. If you need to change a word, add a detail or description, make it more interesting right now. You did fabulous work today. Why seek out the tried and true instead of experiences that will stretch you? So, very, very true. We need to practice and continue to work in order to get better at what we are as writers. I will be seeing you in the next lesson. Have a wonderful rest of your day.